Hi, xin chào các bạn, mình tên là Duy, chủ của kênh Vật lý Chill. Chào mừng các bạn đến với kênh của mình. Dành cho những bạn nào không biết thì ở kênh này mình tạo ra cái video ảnh động hay animation để giải thích các khái niệm liên quan đến toán học và vật lý. Hiện tại mình đang làm một series liên quan đến bộ môn giải tích và video gần nhất của mình đó chính là video về khái niệm đạo hàm, được rất là nhiều người hưởng ứng và theo dõi. Ngoài ra, mình cũng xin được gửi đến những ai đã ủng hộ video này một lời cảm ơn chân thành nhất. Vì thế, các bạn còn chần chờ gì nữa mà hãy like, share và subscribe ngay tại bây giờ nhé. Ok, trong video lần này, mình xin giới thiệu đến các bạn về tập 2 của series phỏng vấn các thí sinh Hoa Kỳ tham gia kỳ thi Olympic vật lý quốc tế hay IFO. Ở tập lần trước, khách mời của chúng ta chính là bạn Sean Chen, một thiên tài tự học vật lý. Nếu các bạn muốn biết rõ hơn về quy trình mà đội tuyển Mỹ chọn lọc ra những thí sinh để tham gia IFO hay biết thêm những thuật ngữ liên quan đến giải tích thì các bạn nên xem lại ở phần đầu tiên trong tập 1 nhé. Ở trong tập kỳ này, khách mời của chúng ta là một người có bảng thành tích cấp 3 cực kỳ khủng khiếp và đó chính là anh hot boy Kevin Lee. Anh Kevin giành huy chương vàng IFO vào năm 2015 được tổ chức tại Ấn Độ. Một điểm đặc biệt đó chính là anh chỉ học và luyện IFO trong vòng 2 năm mà thôi. Đây chính là hình ảnh của anh khi tham dự IFO 2015 hay là anh của ngày IFO. Còn đây chính là anh của hiện tại. Các bạn có thể thấy là anh Kevin đã trải qua một sự thay đổi ngoạn mục đúng không nào? Điều này cũng chứng tỏ rằng nếu chúng ta học nhiều vật lý thì một ngày không xa chúng ta cũng sẽ trở thành những hot boy trai xinh gái đẹp như anh Kevin mà thôi.
Về tình trạng hôn nhân của anh
thì mình không rõ cho lắm. Nhưng các bạn nữ vẫn có thể gửi thông tin ở phần bình luận bên dưới để có thể có được cơ hội làm quen nhé. Về phần thông tin cá nhân thì anh sinh năm 1997, tốt nghiệp trường đại học danh giá Stanford với bằng cử nhân ngành khoa học máy tính. Vì thế, ở trong buổi phỏng vấn, anh cũng chia sẻ cho chúng ta về môi trường và văn hóa ở đại học Stanford, cách nộp đơn và những lời khuyên học tập khác dành cho những ai đam mê du học. Hiện tại, anh đang là một nhà nghiên cứu định lượng hay Quantitative Researcher tại công ty quản lý đầu tư The Esau Group. Nghe thì chả có gì liên quan đến vật lý đúng không mọi người? Anh Kevin thật sự là một người giỏi toán nha các bạn, một thiên tài toán học. Lý do là vì công ty mà anh đang làm, The Esau Group, được biết đến như là một nơi hội tụ của những huy chương vàng Olympic toán quốc tế hay là IMO. Nếu không tham gia IMO mà vẫn được nhận vào công ty này thì bạn hãy nên tự hào về kỹ năng toán của mình, bởi vì nó không thua kém gì những người giành huy chương vàng. Đây cũng chính là một nguồn động lực để cho những ai đam mê toán học có thể theo đuổi nhé. Bây giờ, chúng ta hãy điểm qua một vài thành tích siêu khủng của anh. Đầu tiên, ngoài huy chương vàng IFO ra, thì anh thật sự là một dị nhân khi dường như tham gia mọi kỳ thi học sinh giỏi quốc gia ở mọi lĩnh vực khoa học. Trước khi có cơ duyên đến với IFO, anh tham gia rất nhiều kỳ thi toán lớn nhỏ khác nhau, bao gồm 3 lần tham gia học sinh giỏi toán quốc gia vào các năm 2012, 2013, 2014, với một lần giành giải nhất vào năm 2013. Ta có thể nói anh xuất thân là một học sinh chuyên toán. Mình nghĩ lý do anh không được đại diện cho Mỹ tham dự IMO là vì quá trình tuyển chọn rất là gắt gao, thậm chí còn căng và dài dòng hơn cả Việt Nam. Do đó, ở các video tiếp theo, chúng ta sẽ nói chi tiết hơn về IMO Mỹ nhé. Chưa dừng lại ở đây, anh có 3 lần tham dự học sinh giỏi tinh quốc gia hay USACO từ năm 2013 đến 2015 với thứ hạng vàng trong 3 lần liên tiếp. Anh còn lấn sang cả sân chơi học sinh giỏi sinh học hay USABO với 2 lần tham dự vào năm 2014-2015. Một lần tham dự học sinh giỏi hóa hay USNCO vào năm 2015. Cuối cùng, anh còn là thành viên của đội tuyển Mỹ tham dự Olympic ngôn ngữ quốc tế, viết tắt là IOL, khi giành được huy chương đồng vào năm 2014. Kỳ thi Olympic này không thật sự phổ biến ở Việt Nam, nhưng nó thật sự tồn tại và ngay cả mình cũng còn không biết rõ về nó. Một điều mà mình cảm thấy thật sự ấn tượng trong bảng thành tích đồ sộ này đó chính là vào năm 2015, dù biết là mình phải tập trung cho IFO, nhưng anh vẫn cố gắng tham dự học sinh giỏi tinh quốc gia, học sinh giỏi sinh và hóa. Quả là một con người rất mạnh về sinh lý. Wow. Ok, các bạn hãy cho mình xin được thở một xíu nhé. Bởi vì sau khi đọc cái bảng thành tích đồ sộ này, mình cảm thấy rất là choáng ngợp luôn. Phản ứng đầu tiên của mình đó chính là OMG. Làm sao mà Kevin có thể tham gia nhiều như thế? Anh một mình cân hết cả toán, lý, hóa, sinh, tinh và ngôn ngữ. Để giải thích cho điều này thì một trong những lý do đó chính là ở Mỹ, họ tổ chức các kỳ thi học sinh giỏi ở trong những ngày khác nhau. Cho nên nó đã tạo điều kiện cho những học sinh yêu thích nhiều lĩnh vực khoa học như là Kevin có thể thỏa mãn niềm đam mê của mình bằng việc thử sức ở những kỳ thi học sinh giỏi khác nhau. Chưa hết, ở Mỹ họ cũng không có hệ thống thi chuyên như ở Việt Nam. Nếu có thì chỉ là một số rất là ít mà thôi. Do đó ở Hoa Kỳ, Kevin sẽ không được gọi là học sinh chuyên toán lý hóa sinh. Nhưng nếu ở Việt Nam thì chắc chắn chúng ta nên phong anh là học sinh thánh chuyên, thánh của mọi ngành khoa học. Và người đồng hành cùng mình trong buổi phỏng vấn này đó chính là bạn Julie Lu, đang theo học tại trường đại học UCI. Nếu các bạn có xem tập 1 thì Julie là người đã giúp mình tạo ra những câu hỏi để có thể phỏng vấn bạn Sean ở tập kỳ trước. Còn bây giờ, mình sẽ không để các bạn chờ lâu nữa. Chúng ta hãy bắt đầu với buổi phỏng vấn nào.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. How are you
Hi.
doing?
I'm good.
Let's do a quick introduction. My name is Duy Nguyen. I'm the representative of the Vietnamese physics community. And in this interview, I hope that your story will all inspire our students to practice and compete successfully in the IFO in 2021. So after the competition, they can study abroad or pursue anything they want in the future.
Yeah, I can introduce myself. My name is Julie, and I'm helping Duy coordinate these interviews and also be participating in asking you questions also. So yeah, I can get started with the first question. I kind of want to ask about your physics background. Did you always have a passion for physics, or did it come from experiencing something or just being curious on your own?
Sure. First of all, good to meet you and all of the people who are seeing this. I would say starting in probably around elementary school or middle school, I got very interested in mathematics, and I started participating in some math competitions. And then in high school, I realized that I could apply some of the similar problem-solving skills to physics as well. And so I started working on some physics competitions, and I got pretty good at it just from using similar skills from in the math competitions, and it got me more interested in just doing more physics competitions and eventually to the Physics Olympiad.
Oh, wow. You join a lot of competitions. So is anyone inspire you to do it? Or you just curiously, by let's say watching YouTube or reading some book, and then you got inspired to join those competitions?
Well, I guess we had some physics classes in high school, and I also took physics in middle school as well. And a lot of that really interested in me, just learning about different concepts in mechanics and electricity and magnetism. And a lot of times you can apply, for example, concepts in multivariable calculus in physics as well. And I thought it was really cool that a lot of similar theorems that have their own representations in physics, and it's quite nice. So.
I just want to ask about your IFO journey. How did you practice for IFO, and what kind of resources did you use? Books? Did you take classes in order to study? And when did you start exactly studying these problems?
Sure. Yeah, I think there were two of the books that were kind of recommended by the US physics team, and I also used quite a bit. One of them was the mechanics book by David Morin, and the other one was Electricity and Magnetism by Purcell. So I guess studying a lot of these concepts in the books, some of the stuff in the book is a little bit too advanced for the competition, but part of it is quite useful for the more advanced concepts. And also just having a good grasp of, you got to review some of the fundamentals just from high school physics, and that really helped me prepare. And then the next step was just doing a lot of problems, just basically doing every single problem out there possible on the internet, and that was helpful. Yeah.
So from what I have learned from my previous US contestant, and it's very interesting that he shared to us that he started to learn calculus during his freshman year. So for your case, when did you start to studying calculus before you jump into the fundamental of physics?
I guess I took calculus actually only in junior year, but so that was probably 1 year before my year when I did the competition. I feel like there is definitely a certain amount of calculus used in some of the problems, but I think it's not probably the most important thing. I think the most important thing is to get to know the physics concepts well, And then the calculus stuff will come along as you do some of the problems. I think if any calculus used is like more on the basic side of like just some calculus and some multivariable calculus, just knowing how to do like integrations and differentiations and stuff like that. I guess calculus was part of our like high school curriculum, so
Yes.
it was just part of my everyday class. So I kind of had to do it. There was enough time to just go through like, so usually for students in the US, there are these things called AP courses where you just kind of take like a first year college course in say calculus or physics, and then usually the first year of like calculus and then some basic multivariable calculus should be good for the physics one. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So basically, like, yeah, you learn the calculus, and then you start to learn the physics, and because you have the background, the strong background in calculus, you can start reading the classical mechanics and also the intro to electrodynamics. From my experience, like, yeah, like when you have to read those two, you need a very strong calculus background because Cal 3, right? So
those books definitely require a calculus background, but I guess the first step is to get the fundamentals down, and then before reading those books, you need to learn calculus.
Yes, I agree. And yes, before you get those books down, how can you prepare for the fundamental one, like learn the basic physics?
Yeah, so usually I think some kind of textbook for like a basic first year college calculus and a physics course will be pretty good. And then there's usually like a textbook for mechanics and electricity and magnetism. So basically anything will do at that point.
And what textbook do you use for that fundamental?
I think we had a textbook that's by Gian Colley, but I think different schools use different textbooks. A lot of them are very similar to each other. Yeah.
Yes, and so for you, like you using that the Gian Colley as well?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's so great. Can I know like which, let's say, freshman year or sophomore year that you started reading that Gian Colley books?
I think so I did the competition during the end of my senior year, so it's a little bit of a special case. But basically, junior year was when I studied the fundamental stuff for the college physics and college calculus.
Oh wow, that's great. I can tell, like, during junior year you start to learn physics. That's mean like you invest so much time.
Yeah, but also I guess I also took physics in like middle school, so my basics was already there. So just learning the calculus and then having some of the advanced stuff, it comes along more easily once you have a lot of the basics down, I think. Because the concepts are very similar. Like when you learn like mechanics and E&M, you first do the stuff in like one-dimensional stuff, right? It's just very simple like one-dimensional concepts. And it generalizes very well to multi-dimensions once you have the calculus down.
So basically you start learning calculus during high school in the 11th grade, and then after 11th grade, you're studying like multivariable calculus?
Yeah, so in 12th grade, I studied multivariable calculus.
Yes, that's great. Oh, wow, that's very impressive, because previous contestant, like he spread his schedule from 9th grade until 10th grade. But for you, like you start physics during junior year and then senior year. So a lot of like hard work, and that's the thing that I very admire.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I definitely spent a lot of time in junior year just doing these competitions.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask, like, from this conversation, I heard that you like competed in your senior year of high school. So when was like the first time that you learned about the Eiffel competition, and what made you want to participate in it?
So I was pretty lucky in that my high school had we were offered the regional competitions every single year. So for US, it's called the F=MA competition. It's a very, very funny name. And then for basically, I guess probably like sophomore year is the first year where I just tried it out and kind of see how I did on it. And junior year, I started more seriously prepared for it.
When you start to study, do you think like how many hours does you spend to study physics to prepare for the Eiffel? Just an approximate number.
That's a good question. I guess you had to work through like at least the fundamentals. So that's a few textbooks, like just for the college physics stuff. And then beyond that, you have to spend more time on the just problem solving and practicing past problems and learning the advanced topics. So I would say it's probably like you kind of have to take like 3 or 4 course loads.
Yes.
Yeah, at the very least, yeah.
Besides IFO, did you join any other Olympiads?
So I was always pretty interested in the math competitions, so I kind of did the math Olympiads too, but for those I just did on the national level. I didn't do the international one, but I decided to spend more time on to prepare for the physics one.
Did you feel like overwhelmed by like having so many things to say at the same time and like competing in like multiple Olympiads?
I guess it definitely seems pretty overwhelming at first if you just think about, oh, like by the end of like high school you will have done so many different things. But I think at that time I was driven more like just, I was pretty interested in this stuff and problem solving was fun. So as time goes on, like it feels less intimidating as you just work through different concepts and learning different techniques. And yeah, I guess time flies by when you enjoy things. So.
Yeah,
that's great.
Pretty cool.
And besides studying for IFO, do you do any personal physical research or project, playing sport or joining clubs during high school?
I did a few like, I guess like extracurricular activities in high school. I played tennis and I played the piano, and we had this thing called Science Olympiad. It's not like any of the other Olympiads. It's like more like a small like regional competition. And there's also a national competition, but it's more like a team-based. Like there's like 20 people from each school. You work on some small tasks, and yeah, I guess that was about it. I didn't spend too much time on like sports teams or anything like that.
And can you tell us about your experience during the IFO training camp? Like, how was it? Was it like enjoyable? Did you get to meet with a lot of new people, make friends?
It was pretty fun. We actually was pretty lucky. We got to train with the Thai team. So our entire team flew to Thailand, and we had like a week or so. This was like I think it was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the competition. We just flew to Thailand, and then we just trained over there with the Thai team. So every day we would just spend a few hours, do like some experimental problems, some theoretical problems, and then we just help each other out. We got to eat some pretty good Thai food.
Ooh, what was your favorite?
That was really nice. Yeah. Sorry, what did you say?
Your favorite meal in Thailand?
My favorite meal, I just like, we get like fried rice, different kinds of fried rice every single day, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Like, because I thought like, traditionally, like you have to do the training in Maryland, but this time you go to Thailand. That's very interesting to hear.
Oh, sorry. We also had the national. So first there is the national training camp where you do it in Maryland, but then you select the traveling team, and the traveling team we got to train with Thailand for that. So the Maryland was like the one round before the international team.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah. And when you go to the training camp, you have exam and a lot of training, you do problem every day. So at that time, do you feel is this intense and overwhelmed for you?
It was definitely pretty intense because we almost had like exams it was either every day or every other day. We had some kind of exam, and it feels like you're being kind of judged on your performance on those two. But I guess in the end, I wasn't really expecting to, make the international team or eventually do well in the contest. But so I kind of didn't have too much expectation going in. So that might have helped me not have too much stress. But I was just kind of there to just like enjoy solving some problems and making some friends. But I was lucky that in the end I got to go to the international competition.
Yes, congratulations. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the studying is already done before you make it to the training team. There was also a lot of studying there as well. I think there it was kind of like you take your problem solving skills to the next level by just doing a massive amount of problems. And I think especially because when you're training on your own, you mostly can only do like theoretical problems. The lab problems is a little bit hard to just do on your own because you don't have the equipment, and it's just hard to train. So a lot of that has to be done during the training camp. And sometimes I think there were at least a few concepts that I just completely did not train on beforehand. So I had to read up a lot of those within like a span of like 2 weeks or so. So that was quite intense. And I think it's just cool that, yeah, definitely meeting people from all over the country was really fun. And everyone has their own style of problem solving. Sometimes you learn a few things from each other here and there. And we have plenty of time to socialize too. We play a lot of sports. We hang out and went around the city. I think part of our training camp was going to, I forgot, it was like either I think we went somewhere for a field trip. I don't quite remember what it was, but it was some kind of government building, and then we
Wow.
dressed up. It was kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I wish I can join with the team.
About the competition like itself, how did you feel when you were able to like finally be there in person and compete during IFO? Was it intense, or like how did it look for you?
I think it was quite a fun experience. It was also intense at the same time. We got to train with the Thai team, and then the final competition was in India. So we traveled to all these different places. A lot of the stuff was new to me, so that was quite an interesting experience. And we got to meet like people from all over the world. You know, some of them like gave gifts to each other, and we also brought some of our own like U.S. stuff. And so that was fun. I think we also had really good food. I mean, same as, you know, during the training with Thai team, we had different kinds of food, and during the final competition, we also had different kinds of food, and it was quite nice. I guess as a high schooler, you don't get to travel alone away from your parents that much, so that was it was kind of a little bit scary, but also a cool experience. I think the competition itself, obviously, it was quite long. I mean, you train for that like every single day during a training camp, during a traveling training, and just on your own. But in the end, it's still quite a long time just by yourself and try to solve these problems. They put you into like a small room, and like you have walls all over you, and then if you need to go to the bathroom, you have to ask someone to take you. So it's very interesting. Yeah.
That sounds cool. Yeah, I wish I could have had like the ability to travel like when I was in high school too. But
So do you remember how it felt when you won the gold medal?
I guess it was quite nice because I spent a lot of time and did a lot of hard work for it, and it finally paid off. And I was very happy. I think like when I actually got the medal, I was like, wow, this I felt like it was quite an achievement. I was proud of myself. Yeah.
Yes, I mean for me, if you get gold medal for the Vietnamese people, that means a lot to them. Like, you know, all the hard work they put in, and also the whole country will know them. If you get a gold medal in Vietnam, like your name will be on newspaper in every school around the country. They know who you are. So that's why when I heard like you also won the gold medal, I show all my respect to you. Like, yeah, your hard work, yeah, your intelligence and everything. And I really admire that. Yeah. So congratulations, Kevin. Your story after you telling you won a gold medal, we try to carry that will, right, that excitement to our students to inspire them to compete just like you, enjoy the IFO, and also when they hold a gold medal, they're gonna have the same feeling as you.
Thank you.
and then I just want to ask like a pretty interesting question. I think a lot of like Vietnamese viewers would be interested in knowing and learning about. So like when you went to the competition in India, were you able to meet the Vietnamese IFO team? And if you could like share about your feelings about their performance, if you did meet them and watch them compete.
I'm pretty sure I definitely met at least one of them. You meet a lot of people, so it's kind of hard to remember who exactly you met. But we definitely like we had a lot of these team exchanges. Like we exchanged gifts. We had events where we just like try to socialize, and we had group field trips together. So we definitely there's a lot of opportunities to meet each other. And I'm pretty sure I met at least one of them. And I remember that year, I think the Vietnam team got like 3 gold medals, if I remember correctly. but it was pretty good performance. Yeah, like I think Vietnam pretty consistently gets like 2 or 3 gold medals every single year. I think one year they got 4, so I think that's like pretty much on par with. I think US got 4 that year, so pretty much on the same level. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. Our audience gonna appreciate that. So we already finished the question about the IFO experience. So now let's talk about your college or maybe current career. So what did you think, like aside from being an IFO medalist, what make you stand out as an applicant during your college application?
So I guess we're talking about like the US college application process.
Oh yes.
Okay. So I think for most colleges in the US, they require you to submit a few things that are important. Well, the first is your grades from your high school, and then it's your standardized test scores. So there's like a few tests in the US you have to take just to prove your abilities in like English and math. And I think there's also some of them have like science tests too. And then the third is your essays. So usually this depends on what college it is. So I think for me, I had a pretty good grades in the school, and then I had a pretty good test score as well. So those two are already pretty strong, and I think that helped me get a lot of good college application like acceptances. And then beyond that, obviously there's the IFO achievement. I think a lot of schools like to value the like different kinds of Olympiads, like math Olympiad, physics Olympiad, all kinds of science Olympiads. And then I think in the end, you also want to be like a well-rounded person. So I just doing some kind of sports or like dabbling in like some kind of arts is usually a plus too. So I think probably those points really helped me with the college application.
Yeah, and during the college application, I know like a lot of schools have like essays that you need to write. So did you have like a tip that you relied on with, during your application, or something that you would like to share with the viewers?
So I think most importantly for these essays, well, the purpose of the essays usually is that so the college like admission officers can kind of see you as like a real person, right? So I think for these essays, you really want to write truly about yourself. And sometimes people try to like write the essays to look as good as possible, look like a perfect person, but that's generally not good. You want to write the essay like from your heart, right? Like you want to write it so that you present yourself as a very unique individual, and just write passionately and write about things you like. And I think that will serve you well.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Thank you, Kevin. So about your majors, what are you majoring in Stanford?
I majored in computer science.
So I have one interesting question too, like because you compete for the IFO, like physics Olympiad, most of our Vietnamese students, they mostly end up doing, physics major or maybe theoretical physicists or something related to that field. But what make you like want to be doing CS instead of doing, physics?
I think a lot of times, I'm not sure how this works in other countries, but I think students in the US colleges, sometimes they go into the school thinking they want to do one thing, but they might end up just doing something else that's like completely different. For me, I guess I was generally interested in math and physics, but I guess in the end I find out that I was more interested in just the problem solving aspects of them. So I felt like any kind of major in those that uses that kind of skills was good for me. And I specifically wanted to do computer science. The reason was because I thought computer science is more like a very like universal skill that kind of gets used in all different kinds of fields nowadays. And then it's getting more and more relevant as we use new technology. And I just wanted to be part of that exciting new stuff. And Stanford was kind of close to the Bay Area too, so I got a lot of exposure to that. So eventually I decided to do computer science. And computer science, I think nowadays helps you get a job easier. So that also was part of the reason.
And also, like during high school, did you join any computer science competition that also inspire what your decision to take that CS major as well?
We had this called the Computing Olympiad. I don't know if there's an equivalent in Vietnam, but there's also a international competition for that too called the IOI. So I kind of dabbled in that a little bit. I didn't spend too much time on it because obviously I had to prepare a lot for physics and other stuff. But that was quite interesting, and it got me kind of some initial exposure to it. But it wasn't really until college where I got the majority of the exposure to it. Yeah.
Oh my God. So like you also competing for the physics Olympiad, but also the computing Olympiad, like programming, like solving competitive programming problem. You doing you very
That one I didn't
productive.
spend too much time on it. It was just like something I tried like one or two times. That was it. Yeah, no, that was not very serious.
Oh, you so you like have fun with it.
Yeah, it's
And
just a hobby.
oh, that's interesting to hear because for our student, like if they focus on physics, just doing physics, they don't have time for like other Olympiad. And yeah, like and also the teacher, the mentors also recommend them, like, oh, if you're doing physics, just focus on physics in order to help you like get a higher chance to get a goal. So if they spend all the time, let's say math or IOI or maybe even biology, then it slow down your chance to get a goal. Yeah. So I hope from your story, our student they get inspired, try to be well-rounded, learn more. Like if they love programming, just do programming. Don't just put yourself in just physics.
But I can also see it might be a more competitive environment in Vietnam compared to the US. So it's probably why you want to only focus on one subject. But sometimes when you do one thing for too long of a time, you can get kind of mentally worn out from it. So it might be good to just switch your perspectives a little bit, just try something new. But I guess different, like, depending on the competitiveness of the competition, it could be different. Yeah.
So for right now, for your career, we know that like you doing quantitative research. So can you tell us more about your quantitative research role and job?
Sure. So right now I'm working at a financial institution. Specifically, I'm working at a hedge fund, and I do quantitative research. So my job is basically to analyze the data from all sorts of different sources and build mathematical models and try to use that to trade in the financial markets.
Are you going to be going into like software engineering in the future, or are you going to continue on this path of like quantitative research?
So I think software engineering is kind of like also a part of my job too, because we build algorithmic models which uses computer programs, and we also have to maintain our programs in the infrastructure. So
okay. Interesting. And then like going back onto your college experience, what was it like being a student at Stanford? And how would you like describe the culture at your school?
I think I had a lot of fun in college. I think Stanford has a pretty unique culture that's quite different from other colleges in the US, in that Stanford really tries to promote everyone's like individual like qualities. So a lot of times, I think the idea is that not everyone succeeds in the same way, and then Stanford really likes to encourage unconventional paths to success. People do different things. Like, for example, I've met all sorts of different people on campus, and some of them, go into different, like some of them go into computer science and like STEM-related jobs. Some of them go into like political science and they work as, part of like government jobs. And like people come from different backgrounds and go to different things. And it's quite a unique experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I think a lot of like Vietnamese people are looking like into studying abroad and becoming an international student. So that's really interesting, coming from like a student who actually attended Stanford. And were you involved in any like campus organizations during your time at school?
Yeah, at Stanford, I guess I was part of like a fraternity, and I also joined like a dance group. Like this is kind of just like ballroom dancing and then some hip hop dancing. And I also joined a cappella group.
Ooh, very diverse.
So now let's have our final question. So for students who self-study physics or maybe have no clue on how to start, so what tips and recommendation do you want to share with them?
I guess this is specifically for a physics competition, right?
Oh, just for physics in general, like who want to pursue their passion for physics.
Yeah, I would say like just well, first of all, I think it's important that you continue to do what you like to do, right? If you enjoy it, that's the reason you want to study physics, then that should be your driving force to continue studying it. And I would say a lot of times hard work pays off. Generally, the people that succeed at different things, they always put in a lot of hard work. It might not seem so. It might seem like it's success comes very easy for those people, but like these people actually behind the scenes, they spend like hundreds and thousands of hours on these things, and that's what drove them to success. And I say that everyone starts on the same line, and the more work you put in, the more likely you would succeed, and everyone's able to succeed in the end if you put in enough hard work. And I guess very last, just have fun. Just remember that it's what you like to do and enjoy doing it.
If you could say like one word or one sentence to encourage like students who are looking to compete or just like trying to pursue physics, what would it be?
I guess just don't afraid to try, right? I think no one knows that they're going to succeed before they, like you won't ever know that you would succeed until you actually try it. So
that's true. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's true, yeah.
Yes, so thank you, Kevin. I think we basically asked you everything. And on behalf of the Vietnamese physics community, I and Julie, thank you so much for spending your time. Your information and also your story is very valuable for our students. And I hope that our next generation of the IFO will appreciate this interview. They can watch it. It's help them have motivation to study, to practice, to enjoy physics, doing research, anything they want. And one day they can be as successful as your career. We honored to have you, and we hope that you will be successful with your current job and you will do so many great things with your talent, intelligence, and your gift. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. You too. I hope you guys get a good score on the Physics Olympiad.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for your time, and I really enjoyed listening to your experiences today.
Right. Have a good night, Kevin.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Quay trở lại với mình. Wow, Kevin quả thật là đã mang đến cho chúng ta nhiều câu chuyện rất là thú vị, từ IFO cho đến môi trường học ở Stanford. Đầu tiên, chúng ta hãy cùng điểm qua lộ trình học vật lý của anh nhé. Kevin bắt đầu học giải tích 1 và 2 vào năm lớp 11. Mình có hỏi anh về cuốn sách giải tích nào mà anh dùng để học, thì anh bảo là không nhớ. Cho nên, các bạn vẫn có thể dùng cuốn giải tích của James Stewart mà bạn Sean Chen đã dùng ở trong tập 1. Ngoài ra, Kevin còn học các kiến thức vật lý ở cấp độ đại học từ cuốn Physics của Douglas Giancoli. Đối với cuốn sách này thì mình không biết rằng ở Việt Nam có bán hay không, cho nên các bạn hãy thử lên mạng đi tìm nhé. Vào mùa hè trước năm lớp 12, sau khi đã biết các kiến thức về giải tích 1 và 2 cũng như kiến thức vật lý ở cấp bậc đại học, anh đã luyện các đề thi cũ từ các kỳ thi như là FMA, USA4, A4 và I4. Đến đầu học kỳ 1 năm lớp 12, anh bắt đầu học bộ môn giải tích 3 và kiến thức của nó vẫn nằm ở trong cuốn giải tích của James Stewart. Một khi đã có các kiến thức liên quan đến giải tích 3, anh bắt đầu đọc cuốn Introduction to Classical Mechanics hay nhập môn cơ học cổ điển của David Morin. Một điều lưu ý là các bạn cần kiến thức về giải tích 3 để có thể đọc và hiểu sâu cuốn sách này. Song song với cơ học cổ điển, anh còn đọc một cuốn sách khác có độ khó ngang hàng với nó, đó chính là cuốn Electricity and Magnetism của tác giả David Morin và Edward Purcell. Cuốn sách này mình dịch ra tiếng Việt đó chính là Điện và Tự học, được viết bởi David Morin và Edward Purcell. Cũng tương tự với cơ học cổ điển thì quyển này nó cũng đòi hỏi bạn phải biết về kiến thức của giải tích 3 và những kiến thức liên quan đến điện từ như là điện trường, từ trường, phương trình Maxwell và những kiến thức liên quan khác. Và một lần nữa, trong lúc luyện hai quyển sách này, anh vẫn luyện các đề thi cũ cho đến cái ngày anh tham gia IFO. Ok, bây giờ mình xin được nêu một số cảm nghĩ của mình về anh Kevin Lee. Đầu tiên đó chính là về mặt học tập. Một điều mà mình cảm thấy cực kỳ ấn tượng đó chính là thời gian luyện IFO của anh. Nó cực kỳ ngắn, chỉ trong vỏn vẹn 2 năm mà thôi, ngắn hơn rất nhiều so với bạn Sean. Đã thế, ở đầu học kỳ 1 năm lớp 12, anh còn cố gắng cày và luyện thêm 2 quyển của âm chân kinh, đó chính là cơ học cổ điển cùng với điện và tự học. Đối với học sinh cấp 3 thì 2 quyển này nó cực kỳ khó và nó đòi hỏi bạn phải bỏ rất nhiều thời gian cũng như sự kiên nhẫn để có thể tiếp thu hết. Ngoài ra, chúng ta cũng chưa tính đến một việc, đó chính là anh còn tham gia sương các kỳ thi học sinh giỏi khác như là sinh, hóa và tinh trong năm 2015. Đây quả là một điều rất đáng ngưỡng mộ đúng không nào? Còn về mặt tính cách thì anh nói chuyện cực kỳ cởi mở và hoạt bát luôn. Những câu trả lời của anh trong buổi phỏng vấn nó rất là chi tiết và thể hiện được sự quan tâm của anh đối với người xem. Anh là một người rất thích phiêu lưu và thử thách khi nhắc về du lịch rất là nhiều như là ở Thái Lan và Ấn Độ. Một điểm đặc biệt hơn đó chính là anh có một trí nhớ cực kỳ tốt luôn. Việc mà đội tuyển Việt Nam của chúng ta giành 3 huy chương vàng IFO vào năm 2015, anh cũng nhớ đến rất là rõ. Một thông tin ngoài lề, đó chính là nếu bạn xem kỹ buổi phỏng vấn thì bạn sẽ thấy anh có một chú chó cực kỳ dễ thương, cực kỳ cute luôn. Do chúng mình sợ buổi phỏng vấn này bị sao lãng nên đã quên hỏi anh về chú chó đó. Về mặt đam mê thì bạn cũng thấy là anh nhắc về cụm từ problem solving rất là nhiều. Problem solving các bạn có thể hiểu nôm na là một kỹ năng để giải quyết các vấn đề từ cơ bản cho đến hóc búa. Ví dụ như là khi bạn giải một cục Rubik, một bài toán, một bài vật lý, vấn đề sắp xếp thời gian hay tính toán chi tiêu trong gia đình. Nếu bạn là một fan của siêu trí tuệ thì các đề thi như là mã đi tuần hay ma trận số nguyên tố nó cũng là một dạng của problem solving. Do đó, Kevin là một người như thế đó các bạn ạ. Một khi đã giỏi về problem solving thì anh có thể ứng dụng kỹ năng này vào tất cả các môn học khác nhau, không chỉ riêng về vật lý. Do đó, theo mình nghĩ, đam mê thật sự của anh đó chính là problem solving. Ở cuối buổi phỏng vấn, anh đã dạy cho chúng ta một bài học rất là bổ ích, đó chính là hãy luôn thử thách bản thân và đừng sợ khám phá những điều mới mẻ hay những điều mà bạn chưa bao giờ làm. Hãy luôn có lối suy nghĩ khác với số đông, khác với sự chính thống, hay là luôn be unconventional. Ví dụ như nếu bạn là học sinh chuyên lý mà bạn muốn tò mò hay muốn tìm hiểu về lập trình thì cứ tự học và tự trau dồi nó đi. Hãy luôn thư giãn và đừng để áp lực thi cử cản trở con đường khám phá khoa học của mình, bởi vì chúng ta cũng muốn biết giới hạn bản thân có thể tiến xa được đến đâu đúng không nào? Như là anh Kevin, anh không kỳ vọng quá cao vào kỳ thi IFO, cho nên tinh thần học tập và thi cử của anh nó cực kỳ thông thả và không áp lực. Đây cũng là một trong những yếu tố chính để giúp anh có sự thành công cũng như nhẹ nhàng tham gia nhiều kỳ thi khác nhau hay là đắm mình trong problem solving. Cuối cùng, mình mong rằng những ai đang luyện thi học sinh giỏi lý từ năm lớp 11 có thể tham khảo lộ trình học của anh Kevin và có thêm nguồn cảm hứng để có thể trải nghiệm thêm nhiều môn khoa học khác như là sinh, toán, hóa và lý. Còn đối với các bạn muốn tham gia IFO trong tương lai hay những bạn nào có ước mơ vào trường đại học Stanford thì mình mong rằng video này là một buổi giao lưu nho nhỏ để giúp các bạn có thể biết rõ hơn về quy trình nộp đơn, môi trường, văn hóa và sinh viên ở Stanford. Và đó cũng là những gì mình có trong video này. Ở buổi phỏng vấn kỳ tới, khách mời của chúng ta sẽ là một quái vật vật lý có thành tích cực kỳ khủng, thậm chí hơn cả Kevin và Sean Chen. Cho nên các bạn hãy nhớ đón xem nhé. Mình chúc các bạn luôn luôn may mắn và gặp nhiều thành công trong học tập. Mọi người hãy nhớ giúp mình share video này cho những bạn trẻ khác để có thể tiếp thêm động lực học tập cho họ nhé. Xin chào tạm biệt và hẹn gặp lại. Mình xin được cảm ơn Kevin và Julie cũng như dàn ekip siêu dễ thương đã giúp mình thực hiện video này. Thank you everyone.